Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I'm going to just add a few more events to the game. Dumping in a lot of my code and my documentation for events, things like the game state, the game data. In particular, I'm adding the Thieves Guild screen because I'm going to add in the Oracle Shrine, which is this thing right here, which basically is like owning all the Thieves Guilds, and you can just visit it and it'll tell you what your status is relative to the other players. There's a dialogue box when you visit the shrine that, you know, it's about this blind seer, and you tell him about your journey, and he's like, oh, let me show you this crystal ball. You can check out your opponents. And then also the Daemon Cave, which you have a 10% chance, 30% chance, 30% chance of getting either some experience or an artifact and some gold, and a 30% chance of having the demon eat your hero or having to pay 2,500 gold ransom. So that one got sent off a little early. So I add the Daemon Cave here, and let's see and then I need to make this global visited variable for things like this cave, because if any hero visits the Daemon Cave, then the experience or the reward or whatever is used up. So when anybody else visits it, then you get this message. So I'm just handling all the different cases of these events. The skeleton has a 90% chance of finding nothing and a 10% chance of finding an artifact. And I'm explaining that it's a randomly selected artifact from this number, range, and hex. Because you can't find a spellbook and you can't find one of the ultimate artifacts, but everything else you can find there, including the Fizbin of Misfortune, which isn't really what you want to find. That's the Fizbin of Misfortune is this guy here. And the Oasis, when you visit the Oasis, you get some morale. When you visit it a second time, the well's dry and you depart empty-handed. And that's just until the next battle. It just gives you a little bonus for the next battle. And then the statue, which is this thing right here. I don't know what's going on with my windmill. I've seen that sometimes it renders funny, so I have some kind of bit flip map render issue still that I've got to work out. Anyway, so the statue gives you this message, and if you visit it twice before a second battle, it just says nothing happens, basically. And so I give it my dialogue utils to display the information, and please present the fully modified files and not the patches. And that's what we start with. So it gives me some event stuff, some updates to the events mostly. Tells me what it updated here. It basically is like, oh, I updated the Oasis, the angel statue. Putting the artifacts in your hero's inventory. And then wiring up a couple things in the game main CPP. So the Oracle Shrine is basically a Thieves Guild, and so but if you don't have multiple Thieves Guilds built, you can't see all the information there. So we're passing in a variable like the Oracle Thieves Guild state, which is the full Thieves Guild state. And then there's also the Daemon Cave variant D triggers this dismissal of the hero when the demon basically eats your hero or kills your hero. So all of this gives me these files, but it says, hey, don't I need to, or I said, hey, don't I need to make some changes to game main CPP? Can you give me the approximate line numbers? And also I want the skeletons to be globally visited. Also, the search for the artifact can only happen once, not each visit. So make some updates to the game main mostly here. And fixes the event CPP and event actions so that the skeleton is also globally visited, because once somebody finds that artifact the first time in the skeleton, they should not be able to just repeatedly search that skeleton and find artifacts. So it gives me the precise line numbers, all this stuff. Great. But I say, can you just make the changes to game main CPP? I'll make the small changes to castle screen and Thieves Guild screen CPP. So I made those. I made all these changes to game main. And let's just have a look here. So this is my the build that resulted from this that I'd saved. So I don't know if that's the right music for it, but maybe I think it may have just placed the default music. And it shows me the status. Now, my total army strength in Thieves Guild, I just made up an algorithm, and it says I'm really strong, and I don't know why each hero is slightly different, but probably their heroes have slightly different random armies, and so that's probably why this is. I have a much stronger army with dragons and stuff like that, so that's probably why I'm there. I've also spent a little bit of the gold in my treasury, and so the other heroes probably have more than I do, because I am the red player, as you can see here. So that's what was going on there. Let's pass our weird windmill, and let's try and get to the statue and see if the statue works. Okay, it's playing the wrong sound, but other than that, it seems functional. And we have angel statue visited +2 on our morale, so that's good. Let's go over here and see. Yep, I still have this bug with the... So I can recruit 3 times the amount of... I can recruit extra rogues. Cool. Alright. Now, I think there's a desert somewhere south of me here, so... let's see if we can get down into the desert and see what we can find down here. See, I think I might have fixed the sound for this. Nope. That still plays the wrong sound too, so I need to work a little bit on my event sounds. I still have that bug that's flashing when we do the wrong thing. So let's see what happens at the Daemon Cave. Yes, let's enter. A large demon emerges, etc. We got the 2500 experience. Alright, I'm going to dismiss my goblins. And let's see if we can pick up some nomads here. Actually, let's see if we can pick up the skeleton first. We'll see what happens there. So, first visit, we find nothing. Okay, so no such luck on the artifact. Second visit, we find an artifact, but we don't actually find the artifact. So, the second visit logic is broken somehow. So let's see, we tested the Daemon Cave, we've tested the Angel, we've tested the Oracle. We just bought some of those guys, that's all good. I think there was a Genie Lamp down here that I could test. What else did we do here? The Daemon Cave. Oh, the Oasis. We should look for an Oasis to test. Okay, I'll take the scroll. Here's one of these guys. Oh, it still disappeared, so we still have the genie bug where we click no and it disappears. That's not good. There we go. Here's an Oasis. Playing the wrong sound, but this is a little off, but this is the right message. Let's have a look at our morale. Oasis visited +1. That looks good. So we have a bug with the skeleton. So the skeleton nothing screen is the artifact screen. I basically re-give it the specification of the skeleton. And I don't actually know if the "you find an artifact" is the exact text. I need to probably double check that. If anybody knows, please reply in the comments. But I was thinking that's pretty much what it says, but I may have to slightly update that text. But I can just go back in the code later and do that quickly. It's not a big deal. So I found a bug with the skeleton. It argues with itself for a while. And then it's doing something strange. So I say, no, you're missing the point. The artifact is a one-time event that has a 90% chance of returning nothing. And then after that, a 100% chance of returning the nothing screen. Only on the first visit by any hero does it have a chance of finding the artifact. What's happening is that the finding artifact screen is happening as the default after the first visit, when it should be the nothing screen. Okay, now it understands me, or at least it says it does. So then it claims it found the bug. Okay, great. Great. Does this. And now, nope, you're still talking in circles and wasting tokens. Just fix it. Just rewrite it completely according to my spec. So I give it the new, I basically just redo my spec and say, here, just redo this. So now it thinks it got it, thinks it did. And then there was something weird with the border, the way it was drawn. But I think that one worked. So let me just see if the skeleton fixed is the name of this build. So that sounds promising. Let's see if we can get one quickly in Land Bridge. See if we can render near. Nope, that's too far up. Let's just see if we can get a slightly different starting location. Also too far up. Play the RNG a little bit here. Land Bridge. Okay. Still too far up. One more try. So, okay, well, I'm going to give up on that, and we're just going to go and run down the way we came. I'm going to quick exit the battles. And we can actually do that faster by moving our Phoenix up to the top so that even if we collide with some fast-moving creatures, we will we'll get the drop on them, and we can just exit the battle quickly. Again, people just leaving treasures out in the middle of fields. It's almost like metal detecting in Norway or something, where Vikings would bury a sword under a rock. I think I read about that on the news not too long ago, that someone had found a sword just leaning up against a rock in some glacier in Norway. That'd be pretty cool to find. I mean, you wonder what the adventure story is behind a sword like that, but you know, some guy just forgot his sword and couldn't remember where he put it. And there you go. Oh. Still don't have the implementation of the ultimate artifact map puzzle. We still have these bugs of the rendering order on the screen that sometimes the hero pauses behind. Okay, so we didn't find anything there with the skeleton. And we still didn't find anything the second visit, so that's good. That's correct. And we'll check again here if maybe, I think there's a Genie Lamp down here somewhere. So we'll just check if that's been fixed, because I did fix a bug at some point and I just don't remember when I fixed it. So, shoot, I'm gonna have to say no. Okay, hey, good. Something is a little better with the genie because I said no and the lamp is still there. So the problem is I have like useless crap like orcs here. Nobody likes orcs. Well, actually, some people probably like orcs. But let's recruit some genies, and hey, the lamp disappeared. That's cool. It's also playing the wrong sound for that. It's supposed to be the, and same for nomads. It's supposed to be this like, it's supposed to be some different music. So, but we did fix a little bit of the genie here with this build, and we did fix the skeleton, so it's not giving us the weird artifact noise. So that was a pretty productive session of fixing some different events. Next, I'm going to do the mill, the lighthouse, the campfire, and there's still one more little bug with the genie. Basically, if you notice, the genie, my hero walked on that tile, and that's how it picked up, but it's actually supposed to be, your hero is supposed to be next to that tile. It's called like a, I call it, at least in my code, I call it a pickup tile. So the genie is actually supposed to be a pickup tile, not a walk-on tile for that event.